What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Martial Arts Monday review. And this week, we are going to review The Kid with the Golden Arm, which is yet another Venom Mob movie. One of 4 Venom Mob movies that came out in 1979. The 5 Venoms, or 5 Deadly Venoms, came out in 78. And the Venom Mob refers to films that feature at least 5 of the principal actors from that film. The title character here, the Kid with the Golden Arm, is played by Lo Mang. So he's the main bad guy in this, and he's always just a visual treat to watch as far as acting and martial arts. You know, his physique is on full display here, playing a very powerful villain. And this, I would describe this film as sort of light on plot. You know, the more I watch these films, the more I realize how much in common they have with Westerns. You know, how many Westerns featured stagecoaches packed with gold or something like that, that were, you know, the bandits were trying to rob, and you have the good guys trying to prevent that, and sometimes you have somebody that is allegedly on the good guy's side that double crosses them. And you know, that's kind of what this movie's about. You have a security company trying to escort some gold to an area of the country where there's been a famine, so people are desperately needing to get some relief, and you have the bad guys trying to hijack it. That's pretty much the story. You have some very memorable characters in here. You got the 4 bad guys, the Golden Arm Kid, he's number 1. They explain the ranking. Then you got the Silver Spear, played by Lu Feng. And then you have the Brass Head, a guy that wears a brass helmet, which he uses more for offense than defense, believe it or not. And then you have the Venom Mob regular, Johnny Wang Long Wei, as the Iron Robe. He's wearing a metal robe, so he's, you know, which deflects bladed weapons, of course. And as far as the good guys, you have the security company. You have the long and the short axe, pretty much self-explanatory there. You've got an old former sheriff who's kind of helping out, but who might not be so reliable because he's constantly drunk. So this came out, I think, a year after the first Drunken Master movie. So I'm not sure what the first example of drunken boxing in a Shaw Brothers film is, but this one did come out after the Drunken Master. So, you know, he constantly has a jug of wine, which he uses, which when he's not chugging it, he's using as a weapon. Pretty entertaining stuff. And then you have several other villains. You have a guy that uses a black sand palm. So if he hits you with this palm, you've got like 2 days to live. And sure enough, we've seen that in other films. And somebody does get hit with it. But wait a minute, there might be an antidote. So essentially, you have our heroes trying to escort the gold through enemy territory. A place called the Deadly Valley, which also seems to almost be a name for not just the area that they're traveling through, but the multitude of villains that they have to go up against. And there are booby traps, often poison booby traps. There's all kinds of, you know, ambushes and so forth. And that's essentially the whole movie. About 3/4 in, they make reference to another sort of mysterious character, and don't you know that comes into play at the end of the movie? So I think that was introduced a little bit too late. It doesn't quite have the impact that it would if we found out about that earlier, and one of our beloved heroes turned out to be somebody who he wasn't. But it's almost like tacked on a little bit. You know, there's some double crosses and betrayals, and this is a Chang Che film, so most of the heroes and some of the villains will go out in bloody fashion. They will choose to die a bloody death rather than fight another day. So, like a lot of his films, there's a pretty high body count. Lots of great weapon work. You can see a few wires here and there. There's somebody throws up a flare, and it's just kind of like hanging in the air from a wire. It's a little unfortunate that it's so obvious. But I think most of it was shot indoors, again, with inside sets, but they look great. You know, those typical great Shaw Brothers indoor sets, and maybe some outdoor work as well. Not one of my very favorites, but a solid Venom Mob film. And it's always great to see Lo Mang and Philip Kwok and everybody else. Wei Pai is in this one too, in action. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below, and come back again next week for another Martial Arts Monday review. Thanks.